wizard is never late. Nor is he early. He arrives precisely when he means to.
Here's a message of importance to millions of people who are continually pale and washed out, weak and run down. Doctors will tell you that these conditions are often caused by a deficiency of iron. The iron you need to keep you physically fit and mentally alert. Medical studies show that 2 out of 3 women and many, many men
and Lucas
lack the daily iron your body requires in a form your body can easily use and put to work. Every dose gives you more than your daily minimum iron requirement.
We are awake, we are awake, we are not alone. We are striving for more.
So if you're not getting the iron your body needs, if you feel weak, run down, and are easily upset,
and Lucas
start taking iron today.
It's Friday, my dudes.
Thank God it's Friday.
And a TGIF to you all. Welcome to the Iron Media YouTube channel. My name is Josh Corey. This is Have No Sphere. And we have got, well, you know, a really exciting show, provided everything turns out the way we hope. Fingers crossed, we're going to have Karen B rolling in here real soon. Not that the title would let you know, considering it still says Ironworx, but whatever. It's Friday, my dudes. I don't know what to tell you. Other than welcome. Let's get right in and start saying hello to everybody. We'll start off with Mr. Zachary Zabala, since he was the very first one here waiting on me. You might know him as Good Times for All. Here on the YouTubes, Mr. Zabala, how are you, my good sir?
Hey, Josh. Thanks, man. Doing pretty good. Yeah, got to help out the neighbors a little bit today, you know, got to chat with, I love hanging out with this old man. I think he's 82, and he's in great health. He doesn't look 82. He looks like he's maybe 70. But yeah, I just love sitting and picking his brain and asking about stuff. He's an old Marine, so he's been around and seen some stuff. And yeah, it was just a good day. I love helping the neighbors out, you know, with stuff they can't do themselves. You know, it feels good.
And that's the way to do it. If you can sort of learn to tweak that ego so that you can get it to work in your favor, where doing things for other people is what gets you by rather than doing things for yourself. I think that's the way to do it. That's really cool.
Yeah, it's I don't know. Like I said, it just feels good. I don't know. I can't explain it. Yeah, it's nice when people help you, but I'm more one of those people that doesn't like to be helped so much, or doesn't like to ask for help so much. You know, I like to try to be more helpful than, I don't know.
No, I get it. I'm totally the same way. Here's my issue, is some asshole decided to come up and lay this shit right at my feet. Like, all right, so if you like how helping people makes you feel, right, if that's what it is, why are you denying that for other people? There are other people out there that would love the chance to help you and to help other people. They want to help. And when you don't ask for help when you need it, or when you deny the help from people that want to help, you are denying them that feeling that you really care about. And there's no reason you'd have to deny them. Give it to them.
Wow, that's a great
Right?
point.
It just totally messed me up. And I said, damn, I guess it really kind of is almost right back in there where maybe me helping them is by asking for help. So yeah, just a little food for thought.
Yeah, thank you for that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's definitely gonna be on my mind like forever now. Yeah, that's some wisdom right there. Thank you.
No, you're welcome to whoever it was that threw that bullshit on me. So yeah, I get it. Let's move along and say hello to Mr. Lucas King. You might know him as his channel name, LC King. Morning, Lucas. Happy Saturday, sir.
Morning. Yeah, pretty happy Saturday. Looking forward to the show. I don't know. It's about all I got. Sorry.
No, good. That's perfect. That'll do. That's great. Then we'll just move right along and say hello to my favorite female here on Iron Realm, Mrs. Cammie Nodell. It's so good to get to see you and talk to you because, well, we only do it once a week. So I cherish these times. I'm so glad you are hanging out with us tonight. Welcome. Thanks. How's your week been? How are you and Bob doing? How you feeling? How's the house? How's the kid? How's everything going? All right. Good talk. Let's move along to say Mr. Walter Johnson. No, I imagine she's got that wonky mute button that can be goofy, or she's actually stepped away and truly is tending to Bob and or Jaron, doing things that only a wife and mother can. So we will move along to say hello to Walt because wait, I think I hear her. I think that's her. Cammie, how's your week been? How are you doing? How's your husband? How's your son? How are things going? All right. Well, Mr. Walter Johnson, co-host of the Ironworx there on TFR, Truth Frequency Radio Live.com with Zach and I.
And Lucas.
And Lucas. Walter, how's your Friday going? All right.
It worked for Cammie. I was going to give it a shot too. Anyway, I'm good. Yeah, we had a great show this morning. A lot of rambling, but covered a lot of territory. I definitely saw some folks there playing catch up on that this morning. So glad to see that. Glad to see you guys here. As you said, things planned. Best laid plans, but we'll see. We'll see.
We shall see.
But yeah, good Friday. Good day. Jammed a little bit. Yeah, Friday, my dudes. Friday. My dudes. This is actually Have No Sphere, despite what the show title may say.
It's Friday, my dudes.
I'm working on it. So
hey, that's cool. I was going to get on it here in a second after you got me off the camera, but I'm here. I'll cover you. You typey.
I'm typing a few letters at a time.
That's fine. Do finger peckies. The best kind. Finger peckies. Anyway, yeah, great show this morning. For sure. Saw some interesting things today. Watching a few things, playing catch up on some what I call news. It's not really news. It's what I trust people on YouTube to post. Really looking into what's going on there in Palma. Definitely sending lots of love for those people who are suffering through, living below a volcano. I'm sorry, I had to. Anyway, but yeah, truly, it's really interesting when you go, I can't remember who said it in chat about there being 5 going on since the first of the year. Little number correction there. There are currently 26 volcanic events going on in the Ring of Fire. Now, if you've done any research on the Ring of Fire, that's a little sphincter squeezer there. 25 events active in the Ring of Fire.
I do remember that. I went down, and the flames went higher.
It
burns.
Yep.
The Ring of Fire.
I won't even go anymore. I'm gone. I'm done. I'm going to let you take it from there. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, truly amazing, crazy things. Now, that could be good news if it doesn't lead to, the event. then that will release a lot of pressure and cause future events to not happen so quickly. But as we know, Yellowstone's been waiting for what 30,000 years overdue, and
Give or take.
it give or take day or two. So yeah, it's interesting. Now, how much of that's real? Aaron Dover, shout out. Thank you, Zach, for reminding me. His name was Aaron Dover. His name was Aaron Dover. All right, anyway. But yeah, according to him, it's all faked somehow. I don't know. It's really crazy when you think of mud flood, liquefaction, or liquefaction. That word. It's sort of like
Oh, now I can't say it.
See, I did it to myself.
I was gonna help. I was gonna help.
It's almost liquefaction.
Liquefaction.
That's the word. Look out.
Got it.
When you think about that and the intent, man, I saw like special effects from a movie shit today from Palma. Filming the volcano, and all of a sudden there was the ring of a blast into the fucking surrounding world. The clouds around like a thing on the fucking movies where the ring goes out from the Death Star when it blows up. That's what I just saw about 10 minutes before it went live. So little concerning. What you gonna do? You can't surf that lava for damn sure. You can surf Nicaragua, but you can't surf lava. I'll stop. Go. Somebody. Cammy, we love you, and apparently somebody needs to go check on Cammy.
Are you back, Cam? Can we hear you now? Maybe your headset isn't charged. I don't know, but we don't hear you at all. Yeah, she just reset the computer and everything. I already went and checked on her.
She came in for the liquefaction, but she's gone again. Ah, damn.
That's so weird.
I don't know. Yeah.
Well, damn it. Man, I talk to you guys like twice a week, but I only get to talk to Cammy once. I guess 3 times.
What are you talking about? We talk like 4 times a week.
That's true. I guess if you want to count like this show and Wednesdays and all the times, if you want to count all the times we talk, then sure. Do it that way.
Okay. She says she is going to try to change her headset. All right.
I had to do that before we went live.
Yeah, if you guys out there in the YouTube land hear any crackling or anything like that, let me know. It's probably coming from my end, and
so far not
I don't know.
any of that.
Yeah, no, it's been going good. Yeah. So I don't know.
It was probably a stray because it stopped after we mentioned it. It didn't keep going, so I bet it was just a stray beard or two, and we just caught it. And
I think it was Minion.
The Minion.
Well, yep. Since we've done this once already today, I guess we'll just sit here and twiddle our thumbs.
Well, I was actually reading chat, which I know better than doing it. If I would have learned my lessons, I would stay out of chat. But just seeing lots of things there.
Yeah, we love y'all.
Sorry, reading more. I'll stop reading. Hi, you, camera people. Hi, YouTube folks. Sorry.
Oh, man. Yeah, so did you guys all hear? Elon Musk and his old lady are separating. I know we kind of talked about it before.
Grimes? Her?
Yep. Grimy is leaving Elon.
No.
And Baby X, I think he called him. That's a direct quote. Baby X. They're going to have like joint custody. They're going to co-parent.
So did they spell it out, or did they just use the letter? Because it's all about the pronunciation, isn't it? Couldn't it be like baby Z?
No, Baby X. Yep, just the X. That's it.
But
no EX, no nothing, just X.
How do you know that's how they pronounce it?
Knowing Elon, it's probably not.
How many different ways can you pronounce X?
Z. Yeah. X. Hey, X. It's time for dinner.
What do you call him for short?
V.
V. That's about half.
You got me. You got there, Zach.
Hey, can y'all hear me
There
now?
she is.
Bob saved the day. He got me a different set of headphones. So sorry, everybody. I was talking all along, and it's like, why are these people ignoring me? What don't they want to hear? And it especially went with I think I said, yeah, I'm overwhelmed, and Josh moved it right on, and I was like, thanks, Josh, you asshole.
I love that you can't tell whether or not you can actually be heard because I'm such an asshole.
It did. If you would have heard
warm
both
my
sides
heart
of the
just a little.
conversation, yeah. How's everybody doing? Well, you all
We're
said
good.
you're all doing good. Good.
How are you
Yes,
doing?
how are you doing?
Oh, frazzled and overwhelmed. It's a good way to be.
How's your
It's
husband?
better-
How's your son? How is everything?
Well, my son was off school this week on a
Oh, listen to
mandatory.
this.
It was actually kind of cool. He went to school Monday, and I get emails and stuff coming in on Monday afternoon. And what they sent is they sent this letter of notification. It was pretty much that my son was in close contact with somebody that had COVID at the school, and that he could return to school on Monday, but he could return to school as early as Friday afternoon and get through the nurse's office, and that if he went for testing and in other words, he could come back Monday, but he could come back as early as Friday afternoon if he went through the nurse's office with proof of a negative test and da. So it was like, well, you guys at least make it like really easy because he wasn't going to be tested, and it was the difference of like 2 hours or something like that. But he goes back to school Monday, but it was just his entire online school, everything out for health reasons, reasons, nurse out on it. So he had a week home. And I don't know. I don't think it was so bad.
Wait, they also couldn't do online school as well because of this?
Well, the schools, he was working on his assignments and that, so it didn't
Oh, I
really.
misunderstood because I was like, what?
Well, I mean, the school's not virtual; they're in person, and so. But he's a senior, and so a lot of it is just assignments and that you work on to get projects done. So it's not like he could do nothing. So he was able to do nothing. He just was not allowed to go to the school over that. Until Monday, so if that makes sense. So, Zach, it just meant not having to get up early and take him to school in the morning and picking him up.
Yeah, I like car rides though. It's fun.
Yeah. And then he was on Tuesday, the first day. He comes back in the afternoon. He was like, Mom, I don't think that you thought this well out. And it's like, well, I didn't think any of it out, honey. We didn't have any choice in it. And I was like, what's the problem? And he was like, well, if Zach doesn't pick me up from school, we're not going to drive home right next to the Philly cheesesteak place. And I was like, well, there are ways to get around that even without going to school.
The worries of a high school teenager.
I know.
I gotta go to school so we can
Have
have the
cheesesteak.
Philly cheesesteak place on the way home. Yeah,
This
and I
is-
talked to my neighbor. He's from Philly, right? Lived there for like over 50 years in Philadelphia. He said the cheesesteak taste is good, but the ones you get down here, you could take the meat off of the one up in Philadelphia and make 5 of the ones that you get down here. He's like, so there's definitely a difference in the size. I guess in Philadelphia they make them enormous. But yeah,
That-
down here they're more like a sub.
I don't think I'd want them any bigger. They're not quite as big as the ones that we had in Denver that was also supposedly, the people were from
Yeah,
Philly.
there's a
It tastes right.
meat-bread ratio that you have to
Yeah.
have right. If you're just eating
Yeah.
a big pile of meat, then
Meat,
you're no
it's-
longer eating a sandwich.
I know it wouldn't be right. That's how I feel too. This place really, really, and that's the sadness with my son that we have found out that we can drive by it without doing it is right before this happened. We came across this restaurant and it has Philly cheese sandwiches that, let's face it, taste, I've never had crack, but I would have to call it a crack sandwich because they are addictive. They are so good.
Yeah, see, here in South Louisiana, the po' boys is basically what we call cheesesteak sandwiches or subs or whatever. Now, there's Subway here, and so we know what subs are, but po' boys are what we call them. Big, long French bread filled with, dude, anything from literal roast beef, gravy type stuff that mom had on the stove all Sunday afternoon to like crawfish etouffee to like just you name it. They'll throw it in a French bread and call it a po' boy. So, yeah. Down here, not so much with cheesesteaks, though. That's just not our thing. Not a lot of beefiness, more of that roast beefy thing. There's a place called Chris's, though. They take it and they put it on this certain kind of bread they make locally at this local bakery. And they put a slice of ham and Swiss cheese, and they use the Anjou gravy, which has all the debris in it. And oh my God, it's so good. I'm going to eat one this weekend. I have to now.
Well, I don't know. The cheesesteak, there was something magical on it. In Denver, we had it delivered one day and I came home and it was huge. So I came home with half of a sandwich and I left it on the thing and Bob ate it. And I didn't tell him what it was. And it was a cheesesteak, but it was mushroom, onions, and peppers. Well, Bob doesn't like mushrooms and he doesn't like onions. But they were chopped up so finely in it. He thought it was the best thing in the world and said, then it was always, are you guys ordering from that place again? Are you? And so for years, maybe once a week, every 2 weeks or whatever, I'd bring him home from downtown. And again, it would be across at MOP. And then finally, I think it was FEMA camp, the Flat Earth Musical and Arts Festival. It took place right across from the restaurant that we brought it in from downtown. I'd never been to the restaurant. It had always been delivered. I worked in the heart of downtown. And the restaurant was right across there. And on there, it's like that place with the subs. And it's like, well, what do I have? And it's like, you have the mop. And he's like, that's mushrooms, onions, and pepper. And I was like, yeah. And he's like, but I don't like those things. And I was like, yeah, but you do. You just haven't.
That's great. That's great.
We haven't told you all of those years, but you really, really
You're
do.
really digging that shit, right?
Now he knows that he likes them, and it's true. It's like you didn't think he liked coffee either, but you can ask Zach. He does.
Yeah, that was me too. I grew up hating coffee, hating the smell of it, hating to wash the cup, and now I'm a junkie. Well, look, I hate to interrupt the flow, but it looks like, if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong, but I think there's a super awesome, meaty, cheesy dude here with us. What's up, TJ? How are you, sir?
Man,
Meaty,
what
cheesy, all that.
That's good. I'm glad to see you.
That's what I do right there.
No, I'm glad to be here.
Right.
What's been going on,
What's
man?
happening, right?
I did kind of fall off the face of the earth for a little bit.
A little bit.
That happens to all
But that
of us,
needs
man.
to happen sometimes, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Definitely.
You can't find out where you are until you get lost sometimes. That's just how it works. You have to get lost sometimes to go find yourself.
True story. Yeah, I found out that the threshold is about 2 weeks of not being online before people start having serious questions about where you are or what you're doing. That was kind of funny, but I've just been working. I started this job and I don't know, you know how it's hard to.
That'll do it.
Well, I've never been good at balance anyway. I like to either be all in on something or just not, because like it's like, to me it's just like, why bother? I don't like half-assed things, but yeah, I mean the job is going well. I just hit 30 days, which is like my probationary period or what. I have been doing well, like spraying people's lawns and trees and shit.
Wow, that's a cool job, man. You get
It is cool
to work
and, like,
outside.
right. Hang out at a nursery, like at in my downtime, I'm just like mowing or doing shit around the nursery. So that's cool. And I learn plants and trees better than I know now. So
That shit could be invaluable someday.
yeah,
Right there.
the dude that's training me, like, cause like it's weird too, because I've done a lot of this stuff like 10 years ago. It's like it's happening again. which is weird, but like the dude that's training me is like so much part of what we do, because I'm training to be doing like be a chemical applicator basically, which I know that sounds lovely, but before I worked at a golf course, and that was like that stuff was really toxic compared to the stuff I'm doing now. I think all but one thing we do like is stuff that you could go by yourself. It's not, which that doesn't mean it's not bad, but you know what I mean. Um, but he just knows stuff when we cause you'll just go to show up to do someone's lawn, and then they'll be like, "Hey, what's wrong with my tree? Like, what's happening to this lilac bush? Like, what?" So it's a, and like he knows this stuff. It's crazy. It blows my mind that, and then he asked me, and I'm like, I don't know. It's whatever you say it is. I don't have a fucking clue. But yeah, I gotta. We do like snow removal and stuff over winter, so we're basically laid off. So I have the winter to. I need to get my turf. I forget what it is. Turf and lawn something certification, and trees. There's one with trees. I forget exactly what it is, but did a couple
Like an arboring certification.
for spraying. Like I forget. I don't know. See, that's what I mean. I don't even know what it is, but
Yeah, I mean, dude, you've been working 30 days. Come on. Can't figure it all out in the first month.
no, I tell
You
them
get it.
when anything goes wrong, I'm like, I'm still new enough. You can blame it on me. It's cool. I don't mind. It's cool too
But-
because so a lot of the stuff we do is old people. Like this place has been around, I think, almost 30 years. So a lot of the clients are like long-standing clients that, you know, they like he told me at the interview, we're not cheap, but we're not we're not expensive, but we're not cheap. Like, you know, so it's also more like natural pruning, where you try to keep things looking how they're supposed to look, rather than like a lot of landscaping companies you see just kind of shear everything back, shave it into a ball, and then that eventually doesn't work out for a lot of plants. But yeah, a lot of it is like old people, which I think is cool, like helping old people. And some of them, you know, it's like a widowed old lady who her husband used to take care of everything, and she doesn't have a clue what anything is or how to do it. So like to steal like a quantum of conscience thing, I feel like I earned some soul tokens, like helping old people, you know. I like that.
You really do. I mean, it's neat. It's a wonderful feeling. And with Zach and Richard in that next door, I mean, just being able to work side by side with somebody and share the stories and pass on the generations and things like that. There's something magical about it. I do think you get points. I mean, I think it's good for the soul, for both.
Yeah, and like because of the reputation they have, like people already assume that you're cool because you're there, which is just nice.
Yeah, absolutely. So what have you been doing? Have you been hitting the strings a lot lately, or have you been taking a little break from the music with the new job?
I think I just messed up my camera, but I'll deal with that then.
I've been playing with things here too. Don't feel bad.
That's about how everything else goes. Well, that's the thing too. Like I haven't touched my computer in so long that every time I do, 1,000 things need to update or just screw around, and oh my lord. But I got
Turn all those updates off, man. That's the best thing to do. Just
my Electra. I got some strings. It has effects built into it, and I needed like batteries and just other random shit. So I got some strings and batteries and things like that, and I got that going, and I've played with it. I got I did pick up a new pedal or two. I sold a couple things. I've been I don't know. I noodle occasionally. I have some songs I need to work on because I have obligations to people still that I plan on fulfilling, but it's just like shit is taxing, man.
Well, yeah, it's pouring out your soul. You know,
Yeah.
it really is. And eventually you gotta, put the stopper in there or turn the spout off for a little bit and let that shit fill back up again.
It's hard to at least for me, I can't just be like, okay, it's time to make good music and then just turn it back off. Like I have to like go into a certain, you know what I mean? I don't know. It's more about just when it comes up rather than me just like switching it on.
Well, yeah, a muse needs to descend upon you and strike that inspiration.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I'm the same way. I've been waiting for that musical muse to come for a while now. It's just, I'll even pick up my guitar, I'll sit there and just play a couple riffs, this or that, and then I just put it right back down. It's like, nope, not right now, I guess. So yeah, we all go through these phases. It's always ever changing. That's the one constant is change.
I have been having just a general like disenchantment with the internet in general too. I don't know. I don't know if that's with like the state of everything else or what that's about, but I just get tired. It's I said the other day, it's just like the internet has fully become television 2.0 where it's just the same shit at the same time every day. And it's like, I don't need it.
Yeah, it's been a while since I haven't, you know, I have like my daily rituals. I'll hit Flat Earth today and go through any videos with Flat Earth in the title on YouTube over the last 24 hours. That's just one of the things I do. I'm always, seeing who new is coming out making videos and stuff. And maybe I'm unsubscribed from somebody or something like that. But yeah, it's been a while since I haven't done all that stuff. I could probably use a little break. But I mean, I have some, like we all do here on the show. Every Tuesday, every Friday, we kind of need to use the internet and get on here. It's just part of
As
our
we
life.
become
It's
exactly part of what he's talking about. Television.
It's one of the better parts of
2.0.
the internet for sure.
Well, thank you, man. I appreciate that. I definitely went fishing for that because I
We
mean,
try
I
to
deal with
be-
it, dude. We deal with it because I mean, we've said that numerous times how that the clock goes off and it's like, really? And it's like, you feel this like whole like, okay, I got to get up, wake up, be up because you can't just sit here and be deadheaded. Although that happens way too often in the morning at 4 a.m. There's a whole different thing that happens when we actually do get on this thing and start communicating with each other, even though it's electrically fucked with and they put all their horrible vibes and frequencies on it. We make the love and the energy and the family come through. And that's what keeps most of us going, especially when you have to take some time away from it. You miss it. When you get back to it, you realize these are truly friends and people you miss and need to help get you through your life, especially when some of the people you've used for that support system around you most of your life have just completely gone to the script and flipped their board. So it definitely is a hard line to walk, that line of like using their tools against them and yet getting sucked right back into the machine with it. So, but man, glad you're here with us for damn sure, brother. For sure, you're part of that family. So, and when you need to take those breaks, we're always going to be here when you get back for damn sure.
Yeah, you gotta hear some of the stuff Lucas has been working on lately, man. He's been in his music mojo lately, and yeah, he's been. I'm sorry, dude. You sound American when you sing. Your whole accent just goes away. You sound like you're totally an American when you're.
Well, that's who I used to sing to. Like all the American bands. So like, there was a few Australian bands. I played one last night, like Grinspoon and stuff. But no, I used to like my main singer that I was used to sing along to was Brandon Boyd out of Incubus, and he's got like I don't know what it is, Californian accent.
brother.
Yeah, so yeah, like I say can't, and that's how I say it in Australia. But then you guys say can't. I can't even do it properly when you do it like that. But yeah, it changes a bit.
Wait, do it again.
No, I'm not doing it again. It's like
Can't.
car and
Wait a minute, hit
car.
record. Fuck.
Do it.
You know?
Can't.
Make me laugh.
Yeah, but I've been having fun with the music.
You know what
I'm
you
still-
say about? Oh, sorry. Go.
Oh, just trying to get the vocals. Like the vocals was the hardest thing, I reckon. Trying to get me to sound good. But yeah, working out what to do and yeah, putting stuff behind it so they sound big and you don't sound sort of, it's all high pitched or whatever it is. There's definitely an art to getting vocals to. And I think if you would like the modern music, if you would pull away and just listen to the vocals by themselves, you would go, that doesn't sound very right. It's got all these things behind it. But then once you sit it in the music, you go, now it sort of makes sense. But so it's really having that ear of how it's going to fit in the music and getting to sit in the music rather than sort of some dude singing over a cassette player in the background or something,
Yeah, and if you turn into alcoholic, you can't blame me.
I haven't tried that yet.
You can blame me.
Oh shit!
I know how alcoholics are. You guys will blame anything on anybody as long as you don't have to accept responsibility for your own actions. So it's okay. You can go ahead and blame me, you fucking boozer.
Well, Zach was saying, it helps you to sing to have a few drinks. I'm like, I haven't really tried that, That might get the Aussie accent out. You never know.
Yeah, that's what I want to hear. I want to hear Lucas.
Or a few extra slurs or something.
Always
Yes.
helps. A little liquid courage. Well, that thing with the accents and singing, when I first heard Ozzy talk on a TV interview and he was British, I was blown away. I had no clue, other than the occasional soar for Saul and that kind of thing in his vocals. I didn't know he was British from singing. And that's kind of consistently, unless somebody is doing a real subtle acoustic thing and you hear their accent, when you're singing at your full emotional, I'm in that zone place, it's coming from somewhere else that I think where our true voice is. That's the voice Babylon destroyed that we used to all speak with, is the vibration of our true soul, which is what singing is. The idea of accents and regions and all that shit is when all that got spread around and fucked up. That's just my opinion. I like music quite a bit.
Yeah, and
it's also when you how you mouth your words and things like that, because you can't say you have to. It's almost like speaking in a different way where you can't really sort of put all these nuances in when you're trying to sing because your mouth's open and you got to. Yeah, you can hear some people sing and they the way they actually accent.
You got to Eddie Vedder it, we call it.
Yeah.
You just Eddie Vedder your way through it.
I'm mumbling through this, as you can tell. Yeah.
Yellow
It's
Ledbetter is my favorite song to bring up about that. Sorry, TJ. But yeah, the Yellow Ledbetter one, it's like, yeah, Eddie he didn't want to fucking sing it. He didn't want to, he just.
That's a bizarre. Have you ever tried to sing along with that? It's like.
Oh, hundreds of times.
But yeah, it's something with like, because the vowel sounds are drawn out or something, right? That people lose accents. But see, that's a pet peeve of mine, is like the fake Southern twang people put on their voice when you know damn well that like you wouldn't sing like that if you were singing. Like they do it on purpose. That's annoying, man.
See, I don't think they do it on purpose. I think it's monkey see, monkey do. We copy what we see and what's around us. And I've seen it happen. Like my sister started speaking with a Southern accent after like a couple weeks of being down in Southern Illinois. It's like, what are you doing? You're from Chicagoland. You don't talk like that. And then they all start laughing. You hear he said talk. Say that again. Say talk. It's like talk. They, people. I guess I have a Chicago accent. I guess I didn't know I had an accent. I don't know. But yeah, you guys make fun of me for saying roof instead of roof.
Yeah, it's roof, man.
I don't make fun of you. I just ask you to sit and then give you a treat when you're a good boy.
Roof. Hey, I did it right that time.
Yeah, the other thing about music, like learning the program, the programs actually that I've got is pretty amazing, and I don't actually know how to use all the functions in there. So when I look up a video on how to do something, I'm like, what? That's what's in it? I can do this, and so still learning the actual program and how to edit and do all these things, and it's pretty amazing sort of stuff.
You took vocal lessons and stuff like that, right? When you were younger?
Nah. Oh, I think I did actually. I think I did a couple of lessons.
That's what we're telling everybody.
I got really got sick of it. No, I just sang along to stuff.
That's how I typed it up in the show description.
Yeah, there's so many people that could sing if they were just shown, like you said, there's tricks to it. Like using your diaphragm and putting your head straight up, and
everybody sings. They just don't know it or act like it. But
no, they do it in the shower when they're not even thinking about it. Yeah, but when it's time to actually sing up on stage, they bend over, their head goes down, and they start mumbling. Yeah, I mean, everybody can sing.
There was this period where a lot of, well, not a lot, two specific instrumental guitarists decided to put vocals on their albums. Joe Satriani first, and then Steve Vai did it. And when Steve Vai put his vocals on his record, he went to this lady. And it was all about this whole thing of like what I was talking about, letting go of the fear, letting go of the embarrassment, and singing from your soul, forgetting who's there, forgetting who's watching, and really going for that place. And dude, Joe's experience may not have been as good as Steve Vai's, but definitely the fact that these guys who had never sang in their whole life and only been guitarists in bands forever suddenly were singing really fucking well. So yeah, I'm like you, TJ. Everybody can sing. They just don't fucking know it yet.
Or I always say to people, if you can tell me when I'm singing bad, then you obviously have some ear for what should or shouldn't be. So like, they just, it's like you have to know it or trust yourself kind of thing, and people don't.
Well, no, they'd like to just appeal to authority. What is that guy's name?
No, that's right. Simon Says. Just do whatever Simon tells you to do. Yeah.
That's exactly him, Simon.
That dude. See that guy.
Now, what about the people with truly horrendous voices that probably shouldn't sing out?
Hey, look at Janis Joplin.
Everybody.
Look at Joe Walsh. Joe Walsh did not have a pretty voice. But man, he made it sound pretty when he sang with it. He owned it. Yeah, if you own it, it's going to sound pretty. It's just,
the other thing is, like, people have this.
Josh is like, I don't know about that.
Go to any elementary school choir program and listen to these kids sing. How much heart and dedication and confidence they put behind them doesn't make it. No,
I am so with you, Josh. I am all over it, Josh. I hear you. I have gone to these school concerts, and my own son, I can get him to get up or do things by threatening to sing, like not stop singing until he does things. It's a threat of punishment in this house. So
this is the threat that never ends.
I make horrendous noises with instruments, and they still apply at times.
That's so funny, Josh, because some of my stuff too is like threatening to sing the Hop and Pop song from, early childhood. Come on, Jared, I'll sing the Hop and Pop song. You remember, he likes the Hop and Pop. Ways to torture your teenager.
Now, Cammy, I've heard you sing, and it sound good.
It's not good.
But you can't say you can't sing good. When you're getting into some of those songs, I don't even know the songs, and you'll put it on and start singing it. And I'm just like, wow, Cammy can sing.
Oh, I sing all the time. I just don't sing well. My son and my mom will vouch for it. Zach's just too nice for Rice. Remember, this is the same man that couldn't he couldn't turn brown rice brown. So I don't know. He's pretty sweet. Bob speaks without a filter on this, so therefore we will not invite him to the show.
So what is that you just dropped in the chat there, Mac? I won't do what Simon says.
It's Les Claypool's Flying Frog Brigade or whatever it's called. I don't even know what it's called. Did you ever see him play the whamola?
No.
It's like,
did you have a stroke? What are you?
It's like a.
Do you smell toast?
It's like a one-string bass, but you can. It's made so that you can adjust the tension of the string, right? So you can make it go up and down with this bendy lever, and then he plays it with a bow, but he just kind of smacks it and has like an auto wah going at the same time. So it's just like this. It's bizarre, but I don't know. He says some "I won't do what Simon says" kind of shit in it.
That's awesome.
It's bizarre. I'm not gonna lie.
So what are
If you
some
have
of the
some
weirdest?
mushrooms, you should eat them. That's all I'm saying.
What are some of the weirdest bands that you ever got into? Like for me, it was like Ween.
I like Ween a lot. Ween's cool.
I wouldn't say the Violent Femmes are weird. I'd say they're more underrated and not that well known, but I wouldn't call them too weird. I think they were like, I don't know. But yeah, are there any bands out there that we probably haven't heard of that you think are just awesome? Do you have any of those? Because like back in the day, nobody knew who Ween was. It was like me and my buddy in high school knew who Ween was. It was weird. That was 20 some odd years ago.
Well, this one isn't really that weird, but Death from Above 1979. You ever heard of them?
Mm-mm.
They're a two-piece band, and the guy, it's a drummer and a bassist. And I always appreciate when like two people can make an incredible amount of noise. I think that's cool. But they're really good. Let me find something.
Yeah, that always amazed me. Bands like Rush and, just how three guys could make all that noise. I didn't even know it was a three-piece band until way after, I had heard.
You gotta learn how to play your pedal board, babe. Like, learn how to play that pedal board.
Man, just amazing stuff coming out of them.
Well, I mean, I'm saying that because they literally had a floor pedal that was designed like this big wooden thing. It almost had an octave. I don't think it had quite an octave, but it was like really crazy low bass notes that would be like just basically drone notes that Getty would be playing with his feet down there while he was also playing the bass and singing like a mad witch possessed by Satan. So he was quite the musician.
Oh yeah, that's another band I'm into a lot lately is All Them Witches. They're a little more popular, but that's probably the newest band I like that I know of. But they're a three-piece, I think, and they keep it like bluesy and chill, but it's still just kind of weird. I appreciate it. There's a lot of like alchemical shit in it and stuff. It's cool.
That's cool. Yeah, I'm a big blues guy. Blues, rock, that type of.
Blues all day, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's all rock and roll is blues
If I had to
played
pick,
faster.
like it'd be blues all the time.
Yeah, for sure. Have you ever heard any of the old, like Robert Johnson sang into the fucking kettle can? He never went
Yeah.
into a studio, but they recorded a bunch of his stuff, like all in one sitting. Man, that guy he would have been rich today,
I remember oops. I might have mentioned this before, but I took this jazz class and they told us how there were these early jazz musicians that would like play trumpet with a rag over their hand and stuff because they didn't want people to know what they were playing, and like some of them had opportunities to record and refused it because they thought that people would just steal their music, and like it always blew my mind that to think that we never
Yeah,
heard
that's
that.
how they look.
None of us
Yeah,
have ever heard
yeah.
that.
Wow. I wonder. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure I don't know. I don't know if there's people that would do that today with the way technology is now. It's so commonplace.
And people are so talented
Dude,
even now that they'll
recent,
just pick your shit up. Like
even as recent as Eddie Van Halen, before they were famous. I mean, I know that was late 70s, but he would play with his back to the stage, to the audience, so people wouldn't steal his shit because he knew he was doing next level shit. I mean, people try to keep that shit when it's real. I mean, they know they got something nobody can do. Oh, yeah.
And then you have people like Tom Morello just stands there right in front of your face and shows you, and you're still like, what the
You're
fuck?
still going, what the fuck did he just say? What did that dude do?
I've been listening to a lot of like bluegrass too, like The Devil Makes Three, Trampled by Turtles, Pokey Lafarge. That's something completely.
So now I grew up listening to old school bluegrass. Is this like new agey? Brought it somewhere else? Stuff?
Yeah.
You'll turn me on. I'll check it out for sure.
Go check out the
I wish we
band.
could play all this stuff without having to worry about our channel being taken down for fucking ever.
I wanted to play some Kylie Minogue earlier so bad.
So bad, right?
Dude, this one's crazy. The speed at which these dudes play this fucking song is unreasonable. let me.
Unreasonable.
I don't know, man. I'll need to see that
I'm telling you,
live because
and
I've
that's
heard
me saying it.
I've heard some lawyers talk really fast after commercials. This seemed pretty unreasonable.
Have you ever seen that Fastest Guy?
Yeah.
He can sing Ice Ice Baby in like 10 seconds or something like that. The whole song.
Yeah, the guy that did Micro Machine commercials or something.
Yeah, he did all kinds of commercials. He had to slow down for the commercials so they could
Is
understand
that
him.
real? I mean, come on.
I don't know.
Right.
I
Seems to
mean,
me
with
they could
all the
just
stuff
slow the
they
tape
show
down.
us.
All I know is when we had to do those car commercial things at the end, we would always just record it in our voice and speed that shit up because we weren't going to sit there and try to speak that shit that
Right.
fast.
You cut out every single space. You slow it way down.
Every space, every breath, you don't leave anything.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And then you
fucking make
speed it all
work.
up.
I don't know, Walt. You can do it pretty fast there. When you're doing your Sunday.
So one of my favorite rappers is this guy, Tone Deaf. And he does a song called Crispy. And if you go on YouTube and watch him do it, because there's video and there's like some behind the scenes, there's some excerpts of some other footage and stuff. But he was all hopped up on like Red Bulls and Monsters and just totally doing it. But I haven't, like 193 syllables a minute, something just super ridiculous, just spitting. I'll see if I can't find it. I'd be surprised if YouTube gives us a copyright strike because Ain't no bot picking this shit up.
Well, do you remember the fastest rapper back in the day? When who is that guy who was doing? He had his own label company and he was just spitting out a new rapper like every month. But I forget who his name was. But Twister was one of his rappers.
Snow? No,
No, Twister, and it was something insane, way more than 170 a minute. It was, I don't even know. But yeah, supposedly he was like the fastest rapper in the world. Not
Do you
talker.
guys see that? There was that series Hip Hop Evolution on Netflix.
I
But
started it and got sidetracked, never got back to it. I need to go finish it.
yeah, like they were
Master
talking
P. Thank you guys. Sorry.
about Freestyle Fellowship. Have you ever listened to them? But like that's where they started in these clubs where people would just freestyle, and it's like that good old school shit that's like jazzy. But it's like when these people got the chance to record, and it was just like, they went crazy because like they were so used to just on the spot that when they could record, it was insane. I gotta find some of it.
So yeah, I'll try this. I don't know how well it's going to
Well, even-
translate
Oh, go ahead, go ahead.
without words underneath. To really appreciate what he's doing here, you really have to be able to see what it is that he's saying. Otherwise, you're just like, what the fuck? It's almost like mumble rap. I mean, it's not bad because Tone Deaf is a fast rapper to begin with, so he's pretty articulate. So it's just 14 syllables per second.
Good Lord, that's just ridiculous.
And he won't care that we're playing it, I don't think.
Yes, you and I rocking with the brother that can best space and time over the bass around. So the mistakes, you better go with the pace and die. Towards the name if you don't know what the case is about. I want to take a shot, give it a disgrace. I'm not following the records like I show with the way the eyes. I think blinkers, I got them holding way to the bottom with the ain't gonna bother the baseball. Race the ball, I better never say talking raps backwards, so better the baseball. I hate when they call me a fast rapper, shame on you. Hate long, you better raise it a few times. I come in the difference, I gotta get it, baby. We got from the mean, call me the state of related. I'm in the same in the body, I'm making a monica, taking a nap by the way that the audience is every time to be like, damn. Y'all hear what he just did? Right, the motherfucker that we spit in this quick, living the day, hit him in the head with a listing, give him a second, for the rest of it.
And I don't want to do the whole thing. I do want to say it was an excerpt that we're talking about, just in case.
That's so fucking crazy. Yeah,
That
nuts.
is just ridiculous.
Yeah, I'll drop a link in the chat, and then I will drop a link to the sort of making of video that is.
Even if
worth
you
a
put
watch.
words underneath it, I couldn't read it that fast.
Yeah,
I had
that's the
to
other
watch it
thing.
in slow motion.
Yeah.
Man,
There
yeah, I
an-
think
there's
it
an
was
Australian
that.
rapper called Mantra. He was really quick at saying the words as well. It was pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Isn't that how
Yeah.
fast that Rose types? I mean, could she like type that up in speed or?
Probably.
Doubt it.
She's got crazy mad skills. Yeah, Josh, now that you said the syllable part, I think Twister, that's what they were measuring. That's why when you said the 170 something, I was like, well, that's not that much because this guy was like, it was like over 500. But yeah, now that you're saying syllables, that's probably what it was syllables per minute. Because if you do 14 times 60, that's getting up there. 14 syllables a second.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, that makes more sense.
Scarecrow
Okay.
Strawman in chat says Wax 2. Yeah, Wax definitely spits bars. I don't know Jarv. I'll have to check out Jarv. But
Tech 9. Oh, what? I was thinking it in Scarecrow.
Tech
I already had it
9?
there, yeah. Tech 9's a beast.
he's another one here from the KCMO on the other side of the state.
Yeah, that's right about the time, right when Master P and all them were coming around. That's when I was kind of falling out of rap. And that's when I moved out to the country. And I don't know, I started listening to, I went back to the beginning. I started doing Muddy Waters and Bob Dylan, a bunch of folk music, Otis Redding, stuff like that, the old blues guys. Yeah, I don't know. That's when I decided music was dying and I wanted to go back to the roots and learn there. I don't know. Yeah, music is never, I don't know. It's like, I feel old. I listen to music nowadays, the newer stuff, and I feel like an old man. Like, what is this shit they're playing on the radio nowadays? What is this?
To
I
me,
don't know.
music was never on the radio once the 70s ended. It was always just bullshit after that. It was all driven and crap and commercialized, and here's your 85 songs, enjoy them. And yeah. So I always listen to what I wanted to listen to. Programming drives me nuts in any form. But definitely, I go through those phases of going really old, back to the old school stuff, and then I'll go to completely looking for stuff that just came out last week and see what it's all about and be blown away by some of the crazy guys on YouTube. They're doing stuff that is so next level on guitar, bass, drums, you name it, vocals, just dig around. It's out there.
Oh yeah, there's always people
There's a
making good
dude,
music.
TJ, I know that jams a lot. Always. Just got to dig
You know,
around for
I
the good
think
stuff.
the saddest part is there's so many great musicians out there that should be heard, but refuse to sell their souls.
Oh,
You know, change their image and sing their songs this way and blah blah. They're not going to do that. They're artists. They're not doing it for, you know, I mean, if they can get paid to do it and make a living, that's great. But they're not going to change what there's just people like that. You know, this is my art. It's not your
and then there
whatever.
are those who say they did sell their soul. Mr. Dillon. Anyway, Robert Johnson, who didn't want to be seen doing his licks because somebody was stealing. Hell, that stuff didn't start even with Robert Johnson. As far back as Paganini, it was said he had sold his soul, who was a violinist in the Baroque area, I guess, maybe. Crazy dude. Like, he could play stuff on a violin that would blow people's minds beyond technical shit. Like, he would have a mistress in the audience that would be some, you know, like Duke's wife, and he would make the violin say her name, or he could make chicken noises, or he could make fucking farming, you know, imitate anything with the fucking violin. And he was the first marketer. He had his image, his silhouette on handkerchiefs you could buy at the concert. And of course, all the ladies would have their little Paganini handkerchief. He was the man. Paganini was the shit. I've still got my Paganini t-shirt. No, I'm kidding.
Gotta get some handkerchiefs, man.
Right, dude. That's what's up. Get your little TJ silhouette going. That's what's up.
You guys ever hear Magic Sam?
I know that. Fucking A. Go back. Go do it.
I don't know if I did it right. Can you hear it?
We don't hear it.
Shit.
There's that one little box that you're gonna.
Yeah, you got to do the trick.
You're not gonna hear him today either. Got you.
I love it.
Share.
Shout out to Scarecrow Strawman again, who got ate a bunch of mushrooms and went and saw the Whalers and smoked like 10 spliffs. That's all.
What?
Well, that sounds cool. Got it now?
Yep.
Now we're here.
That's good shit.
That's awesome shit. Send me a damn link to that one.
I'll show you
There's so
something
many
cool
people-
with the looping. I'll pull it up for you. There's bit of dub effects. Once I get the.
Could we do that? Could we just play like 10 seconds of songs?
Oh,
Be like,
we'll see.
listen to this part. It's
Oh,
cool.
we'll find out here in a little while.
Not likely.
I mean, because there's people that sit and listen to the whole song and only stop it like every couple minutes. Say, okay,
See,
I'm supposed to stop it right here, so I'm going to talk about it for a second. I
That-
like
I
the
don't
song, it
understand
sounds
that.
good, and then hit play.
with these like lo-fi chill hop yippee yo 24/7, there's tons of these 24/7 music channels. Why can they just play music constantly? I don't understand that. Or is it all royalty free? I don't really get it.
I
Well, I
think
know
it
even
might
on,
be
like,
all
things-
royalty free, done with like shit that I collect. All the here's a free sample pack of sounds for you, and you just do that for 15 different places for 15 different things for 6 years, and you get like gigs and gigs and gigs of sounds
But that
and
being
music
said,
and noises.
dude, like there's so many guitarists like that do a whole song from start to finish. The lyrics are there. The fucking you can hear the original song playing while they're jamming to it, and they're doing the whole thing. And their channel has been up since for 11 years. One guy that does some Mark Tremonti stuff. And he's fucking awesome. I don't have his name. I'm trying to remember to give him a shout out. I'll go look it up because he's fucking awesome. But he's been doing this shit for 11 years, and he has commercials. They play on his channel. Now, as we know, with some of the shit on our channel, there's that shared revenue thing. Now, where the dividing line of we'll share it with you or no, your channel goes away, where that line is drawn, who knows? I can't say it's topic driven because we hit quite a few, touch topics that should get us a lot more trouble than we get in. So who knows? Fucking play it, I would say. Love y'all.
So
We'll see y'all next week.
Yeah, this guy, I don't know, he's like, you'll get in trouble for playing this or not, but this guy's he's out of Australia, but he does a lot with the loop pedals. You'll see here. Just want to show that it's pretty cool how they build it up, and yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
My head hurts already, dude. Holy crap. See, I couldn't even keep up with doing all that. I have trouble with my one loop pedal, and it's only got like 3 buttons on it.
So he's got a Boss looper and a effects pedal. All done with vocals, yeah. Tell me if I should stop playing it.
Yeah, I would. I would.
Anyway, people can suss that out. It's real cool.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, he builds a whole song up, and then just because he used to go into the streets, like take out like an amplifier and have it sort of hooked up with a battery, and then just take a couple of pedals and then do all these songs, sort of freestyle and rap over the top of it.
You ever watch Reggie Watts?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a nut job with that shit, dude.
Dude, that shit. Watching him with the. It took days for me to recover. Like, really. I had to sit and think, and my brain had to process what the hell I just witnessed. And I think we might have even played some of it on here before. Seems
because
like
he talked Flat Earth at one point in it.
Oh, shit.
Now, who is this?
Reggie Watts.
Reggie Watts. He's a comedian. He does a lot of crazy looping music, humorous, but then he takes it to musical places that are way fucking like, holy shit, that's genius.
Is he like?
He does these characters.
Current?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay.
He gets into these characters like just spontaneously. It's almost like freeform possession, dude. It's nuts the shit he goes through and does, and these people he creates on the spot. and it's so much and so varied. It's like you can't keep all that on you. How the fuck do you unpack all that and keep it in your head? You know, it's like it has to come from a free place, but you just have to go see some of it. He's done TED Talks. He's done a bunch of concerts. He's been on other things. You might have caught him on. You probably know him. Big, huge hair dude, kind of heavy set. Yeah, he's great. Really fucking great. And talked about flat Earth in one of his characters. So I'm trying to find that actually right now, but of course that's not going to be easy to find. I have it somewhere saved on a terabyte or 3, but who knows? I'm not going to dig through that for the next 4 hours.
Yeah, it's one thing about saving all this stuff.
Oh yeah,
accessing it.
Look at that!
Did you find it?
That one. Yeah, this is the TED one. This is amazing.
Dude, that is awesome.
Yeah, he's phenomenal. I wish we could watch his whole fucking
How many that you have? How many people that you knew? I'm never going to be able to write it.
Yes, commentary.
Commentary.
Yeah, commentary.
It gives us the idea of what the idea that wants to be transmitted wants to be. So please, without further ado.
Yeah, it's pretty bizarre.
Yeah, dude, he fucking will make you go like, wait, what? Wait, what? Come back. Come back.
Commentary from Uncommentary.
But just think of what music used to be. Like Daz is saying in chat. You know, who needs mercury-filled pipe organs that shake your soul with these infinite frequencies? No, we're going to have music that's all been, you know, had 13 witches and wizards dance around it and do some seance on the final track before it's sent out to production. That's what we get.
Fucking sign me up. Let's go.
You know, it should be these huge, giant organs.
That's
that the
what I'm
buildings
missing.
are built
Damn it,
around.
Zach. Why didn't you tell me this earlier? I need just a call out for any witches and warlocks to dance around my album.
And I just threw out a perfectly good set of mercury fill organ pipes.
Yeah.
But yeah, music used to be, you know, you would go and it would heal you. It would, I mean, who knows with these buildings? I mean, the windows are magnetrons. What the fuck is that shit?
It's a
That
transformer.
still baffles me, dude.
My sister told me my one niece is gonna start taking organ lessons, and I was wondering, but I said to her, we can start a funky jazz band now. And of course, she wasn't interested in that because she's like 12, you know.
Yeah, wait till she's at least 19 and teach her what a jazz band really does.
Yeah.
Jimmy Buffett will tell her what jazz musicians are doing.
Their pencil thin mustaches.
Yeah, music. I love it. It used to be a much bigger part of my life, but I don't think it's something you ever lose. Your appreciation for good music. You know, I've been through all of them: country, rap, all, just name it. You know, I've listened to it, and there's stuff in each category that I love. That's just like, wow, that was the words, the everything. It was just beautiful. And then there's some people out there that only listen to one genre of music.
It drives me crazy. Like I have those friends who like, want to put on the same 10 songs that we've been partying to for like 20 years now. And it's like, dude, can't just something else, please? Like a little bit. Damn.
Yeah, well, in Australia here, they have like, just the same 20 pub songs that every cover band plays, every pub plays. And, when everyone gets together, to have a party, it's like, oh, yeah, put that song on again. Let's get pissed to that again.
I want to hear Brown Eyed Girl.
Oh, yeah, it's just crazy. It drives me fucking nuts. It's like, man, these songs are like exhausted,
See, I was the guy that
I'd happy if I never heard them again.
I would put $10 in the jukebox as soon as I walked in, and it was all songs that were from older bands, mostly, but they weren't the A or B side of a single. It was like a deeper track. I'd play Vera off the Wall, and then I'd play "And It Stoned Me" by Van Morrison.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. And stuff like that. I just pick out, Getting in Tune. I know Getting in Tune's kind of a famous one. You'll hear that every once in a while. But that's like my favorite Who song, is Getting in Tune. Don't know why. The words don't make a whole lot of sense. I just love the way it's put together. But yeah, I was that guy. I actually had a guy, because I usually would go to the bar. Once I got a little bit older, I'd go at like lunchtime and go and sit down and have lunch and, sit with all the older guys. And I remember I went in one time just by myself, sat down, went to the jukebox, played a bunch of songs, had my meal, and this couple was sitting next to me, and the older man, he had to be in his 70s or so. He leaned over and looked at me. He's like, man, you know your music. He's like, thanks. That was awesome. I haven't heard a lot of those songs in quite some time. And that just made me feel all good inside. Thank you. But yeah, I was never the one to be playing Brown Eyed Girl or, We Will Rock You and all those. I'd bring out some Lou Reed, Walk on the Wild Side.
Play House of the Rising Sun.
Yeah, exactly. No, I'd play Eric Burton in War, Spill the Wine.
War. Love War.
Yeah. Or The World is a Ghetto by War. I'd play that one. And I grew up in an all-white town, like all white. I'd try playing something like that there, and I would be getting stink eye, like hardcore.
Did you find it, Walter?
So yeah, I had to watch what I was playing in certain places.
So.
Yeah, that was the worst part about growing up in Northwest Indiana there. We'd be sitting at the bar, and some black guy'd come walking in the bar just to get a drink and directions or something like that. And dude, I was ashamed of being in the bar with those people for the stuff they would say to him. And all the guys I hung out with, we would call them over to our table. Hey, dude, come here. Come here, sit down. No offense. We got nothing against you, man. But it would be a wise thing to do to finish your drink and drive over to the next town. Just for your safety. He's like, I had never seen anything like this before in my life. This is crazy. He's like, I know, man. Hey, it ain't us, but that's how it is here. And that sucked. I felt so ashamed of being from that town when stuff like that would happen. I don't know why I got onto that. I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. People are fucked up in places.
What were you circling?
I did find that spot, though. I just wanted to share that before we go. A little commentary.
So, as I say before the last piece, feel not as though it is a sphere we live on. Rather, an infinite plane.
But yeah, we were talking about people. Did you have any uncles like that wouldn't listen to anything
Once we understand that all the spheres
except
in
for
the
like
skies are just large infinite planes.
Hank Williams Jr. and oh, I had an uncle like that. There was like 3 artists he listened to, and they were the only artists in the world. Johnny Cash, Hank Williams Jr., and I forget who the other one was. But if it wasn't that, he didn't want to hear it. And I used to dress up. I'd put my clothes on backwards like Criss Cross just to piss him off. We'd go to a function and he'd be there. I was always wearing baseball jerseys and stuff when I was younger. Yeah, and I'd go and I'd put it on backwards and put my hat backwards, and he would get so mad. So mad. Good times.
Somebody
I'm gonna
had a
show some memes.
Go for it.
Yeah, you talk. Keep going. I'll just set this up.
A
little intermission.
What was it, like Time Life or something? There's CD sets you used to be able to get. Something like that. Somebody had one. It was like the complete Hank Williams, like every song he's ever recorded, every radio show he had ever been on and shit. And it was pretty cool. I liked listening to those because they were old.
Yeah, I was a big fan, big fan of Hank Williams Jr. back in the day. Yeah, big fan of his dad.
His dad as well. Fucking A, man. There's like some amazing shit there if you've never dug back.
And those blue yodelers, man, that was such a unique sound. It's just absolutely haunting. Listening to him yodel like that, it's crazy.
Where's that, Lucas?
I want to. This is in Brazil. I wanted to show the amount of people that were.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah. They're not putting up with anything. You think that we're just over-fluorinated here?
Yeah, over-fluorinated,
I do think that's
over-cavenated.
That's a hell of a crowd. Oh, I thought this one was funny.
It is.
Encore, stupid encore.
C'est magnifique.
Oh, that's great.
Take any questions you have.
Premier, if people can get extra vaccines, can they jab themselves at home?
We're all tempted to do that.
How many vaccines do you have at home?
Thousands.
Geez, Premier, you're jabbed up. When's your next jab?
I think we're getting it tonight.
Can you overdose on vaccines?
Not sure, actually.
Can I get a bag of Pfizer off you?
We haven't got the stuff.
You mean the vaccines?
I'm not an epidemiologist.
That's good to know, but what do you know about COVID?
If you've got symptoms, you've got COVID.
Holy shit. And what's a COVID symptom?
Pinged, if you like.
So if you ping it up, you have COVID. My mates in country Victoria are rooted.
We don't want this taking a hold in country Victoria. We just don't.
And why are we in lockdown again?
It's in the period when you're not locked down that you will get the majority of cases.
So by that logic, we'll never come out of lockdown.
That's my wish.
So hang on, your wish is to what?
Never come out of lockdown.
Yeah.
Don't date, man.
I just think these are funny. These are some of the stuff that come off Telegram. I just collect a few and.
This is a cat. And dude, that's not too far off of what's going on right now. That's the saddest part.
I know. Too close to the truth.
How socialism works.
How the internet works. How social media works.
Yeah, exactly. Pick your poison.
Yeah, free stuff you in Facebook. Free stuff you and any quiz you ever take.
Quarantine center.
Close your eyes and write the letter E and see what words you create.
That's a cool thing at my job too. No mask or vaccine bullshit. They don't play that at all. They're really conservative people, and like, there's three women that work at the nursery that are there like regularly, And I got to talking to one day, and she was like, oh, I like working here because I know there's no vaccine bullshit. And so then like me and her got into a COVID deal for a while. So that was cool to, meet a person where you wouldn't expect who got it.
That's always nice.
And that's the thing. I think there's a lot of people out there that do get it. I mean, according to their numbers now, which I don't know what numbers. I mean, Joe Biden's got to be senile. He said there was only 80 million Americans that haven't been vaccinated. This was after he said that 350 million Americans have been vaccinated. And now that they're saying it's 52%. So I don't understand where the numbers are coming from that he's getting.
Something funny, I thought we were driving today. We had to cram 3 of us in a truck because we already had a truck there and blah, blah, blah. But somebody said something about hiring. We were saying about how everywhere is hiring. And my boss was like, what I want to know is where did all the people go? And like, I don't know. Is like, does that become a valid question to ask at some point? Because, I mean, seriously, anywhere you go around here is hiring. And like, not only are they hiring, but they have desperate things like, please help, we're hiring. Like, I've seen obnoxious stuff. And it's like, seriously, where are all the fucking people at? Like, but
they're
like,
all
I
getting
don't
paid to sit on their butts at home.
Yeah.
More than they would be getting paid to actually work.
But not many people still are.
They cut all that off?
A lot of people. Missouri cut ours off early. I know a lot of states, because they saw people were not going back to work. Like, oh, well, shit, this isn't working. All right, well, I guess we'll just end this early. Turns out people are just lazy fucks and we'll just sit around for free money. Well, shit.
like at this one spot near where I live, there's a, like a shopping center and several different things there, but there's like a McDonald's, a Pizza Hut, and a Burger King all right there. McDonald's now hiring. Burger King says hiring. Pizza Hut said, we are also hiring, please help. And I was just like, that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen.
It's like, choose me.
Yeah. Like, usually you go to the interview and like you feel like they're doing you a favor, you know what I mean? It's totally flipped now.
I would go out there with a big sign that says, fuck your forced vaccinations. And I would mount it right on the front of my fucking barbecue pit. And I would go wheel that shit right up on the sidewalk in front of all 3, and I would grill all motherfucking day long. Come eat it, come take it. I don't care what happens to it. I got 40 pounds of burgers I'm going to grill up and throw away if I have to, because fuck you.
I would like to think that part of it is that people don't want to do mask or vaccine bullshit, but I don't know about that.
Don't know about that. This one was funny. Man, I laughed when I first seen this.
Now is some significant vaccine news. A deal has been done with the UK overnight. The Prime Minister just sorting out his glasses and his mask.
Did you see that jerk? He dropped his notes.
Oh man, that was cold. Whoever did that was funny. Yeah.
Well, we have been joined.
We has been joined.
I just noticed. We have the ever lethal, ever beautiful, ever talented Miss Karen B in the house. Karen, how are you doing today?
I'm doing okay. How are you guys doing?
There she is.
Are you feeling better?
Yes, I'm feeling better today than I was yesterday, at least.
Good. I know those can be so horrible.
Progress, not perfection.
So what is going on? How is stuff at Casa de Karen?
It's busy. Just been busy doing all my last minute stuff.
Is this getting easier for you, would you say?
No.
No, harder. Because you seem to add more to it, like
asking me
every time.
that, like it should be getting easier, but it's not really.
She does add more to it and looks for ways to, little special touches and things that she does. That's part of what makes it really fabulous. But yeah, are you holding in okay, Karen?
Yeah, I'm okay. It's cool.
Well, yeah, this will be the first 2-day event where it's like 2 days at the place, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Right.
that's like double the work probably right there. So yeah, I could understand how it's not any easier.
It's not really double. I wouldn't say it's double by having 2 days, but it's just different because every time it's it's at a different place and different people, and it's just, I don't know.
Yeah, it would be a lot easier if, again, you were working on the same venue and the same, everything and had the same connections, but it's reestablishing it each time with it. But yeah.
Well, I saw the video of you guys having a blast with the go-karts.
Yeah.
That's going to be fun. Did you guys check out the bowling alley?
No, we didn't bowl. I don't think it was open while we were there. I haven't been in the bowling alley other than when Cammie and I went and looked at it.
Yeah, this is going to be fun. And David's new billboard should be there, what, the 27th, in a few days here?
Yeah, Monday.
All right, do you want
What's
to go
his
out
billboard?
there? It's a flat Earth billboard. Doesn't it? It's for Flatoberfest.
Yeah, I saw Cammie maybe shared a picture on Skype, maybe.
I did. I can look for it again. Yeah, it's going
I've got
up.
too many things open, or I would go dig it up. I was actually looking at the app. I was gonna say earlier we were getting close to 20,000. Hell, we've hit it and gone over by 20,009 right now.
Wow.
Sorry. Pretty crazy.
Did the update come through for the app yet? I had seen something this morning right when I went into it, and it said an update is available. Like, would you like to go do it? I went in to go do it, and it didn't say that the update was there. So I don't know. Yeah, whenever I click into it, it says new version
Oh,
of
look at the
app
states.
available.
It's like
on
nearly
Play
turning
Store.
black with all the dots. That's crazy.
Wow.
Oh, there it is. Update. Yeah. Okay. That was the first time. When I went into the Google Play Store, it didn't give me the option to update it, but when I went into the app, it gave me a little notifier and said, would you like to update? And yeah. So maybe, I don't know if this is the one with the dots or not.
He put balloon on there. You say up the top? That's cool. For satellites. Map's better. How's Australia going? I haven't really looked for a while.
You've got one person that's even closer than the other two. They're still a ways away, but yeah.
What, 200Ks, 300Ks?
Did you feel the earthquake at all, or no?
I didn't, but other people sort of reported that they did. Yeah, and I got a friend in Melbourne, and I just sort of messaged her. I said, "Did you feel it?" And she's like, "Yeah." I sent me a message back and said that she felt it before it sort of happened, and she felt like she was getting suffocated, or and felt something real strange going on, and then it hit, and she's like, "Wow." But
really, so that really speaks to that fucking energy weapon we were speaking about this morning on the show, that she felt something that nuts before it occurred.
Yeah,
something
like she was
5G would do
suffocating.
that would fuck with your energy. I mean, your oxygen uptake. I'm just saying. I'm not, a conspiracy theorist or anything. I do play one on TV, however.
You got to embrace it. You know, like that dude.
For life! For life! I am for life!
Conspiracy theorist for life, mate.
That's it.
So you have somebody in Hall's Gap, Lucas.
What?
You know where that is? In the Grampians
Yeah, Hall's
National
Gap.
Park?
Clarion Ledger, Jackson Daily News. Thank you very much.
Nice.
Speaking of billboards,
I
a
used to
former
read that every
Pennsylvania
day.
senator has been putting these up around the state, and I just thought it was hilarious.
I did drop the billboard into the group chat wall.
All right, cool. Let me see here.
Well, supposedly I said this the other day, but supposedly the Taliban are fighting ISIS now, which we know was a manufactured, shall we say, trained
UN mercenaries.
Yes.
Had to clear my throat there. Yeah, that's just.
That's cool. Is that one up already, or is that just like someone made it?
It's going up on the 27th, and so he did put, he photoshopped it into what it is, but it's an actual street view of the street and exactly how it's going to look. And you'll see the map on where the billboard is and where Flattoberfest is and where the hotel is. They're all within walking distance of each other. And we're going to we have a beautiful, beautiful week of weather coming up this next week. I don't know if you're aware of it, Zach, but I did take a preview of it, and today it was like 74 degrees and perfectly sunny. It's supposed to be sunny all week and just get a little bit warmer each day. So I think 78 tomorrow, 82, 84, and have her in the mid 80s for the week. So it should be fun to go over and check out and do some pics by the billboard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. We can go live.
I'll bring the unicycle.
Yeah, because Ted's off Monday too.
Oh,
Heck
cool.
yeah.
Oh, for sure. Heck yeah.
Yeah, fun.
Go take some pictures of his video. Is this Brian going to be around Monday? He always makes it a crazy time.
Yeah.
That guy, he's awesome. I love Brian Stavely. He's so,
How's
I don't know.
Sergeant going, Karen? You've been cranking out I sort of been missing those shows since you sort of didn't go on YouTube anymore. I know I should jump across, but I haven't done the Rockfin thing yet.
Well, I also stream on Twitch.
Oh, do you?
I do Twitch, Rockfin, and Facebook when they don't ban me. I'm back on Facebook.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, did you hear that they basically, like for these protests in Melbourne and that, they basically shut down all the live streaming. So you couldn't do any. There was like a blackout. I think what happened was we've got sort of 5G and 4G, and they dropped everything down to 3G. So people's sort of phones didn't work. That's pretty crazy, isn't it?
That is crazy.
Yeah, then they shut down the airspace over Melbourne, and then done that sort of internet sort of shut down, so people couldn't live stream.
And if someone had flown a drone, what the fuck would they have done? Is my question.
Well, I know Billy Zig was down there getting video. He wasn't live streaming it, but he was recording, and then he uploaded it later. Yeah, it was pretty wild, the stuff that's going on.
I mean, these days they've got some really small little zippy drones that you can fly around and do some pretty decent photography with. You don't really have to go out and get the DJIs anymore. Just saying. So
yeah, the government is saying there is now a
so
drone.
many airspaces with little things the size of your hand flying around in it. I don't know. I guess they can with all their AI and their fucking tracking and their whatever. But
go ahead,
I just
Jack.
think enough people would.
Yeah, the latest drone is the size of a microchip.
Well, that's the crazy ones. That's theirs, right? We don't have those just yet in here. That shit.
It's not even the mosquito anymore. That's the size of your thumbnail. It's the size. They showed it next to the tip of a pencil.
A freaking ant's leg. There was so many crazy pictures when I went to go look for a show pitch. It was nuts. nuts, nuts, nuts. And
We
that's
could be
just
breathing these things
endless-
in.
Fuck, you think
Yeah,
we are?
that's some scary stuff, man.
You know, and this is what they choose to do instead of making this place a utopia. I don't get it. What is wrong with these people?
Too many asleep people, man. That's what it is, as we can sort of see.
No, but I mean, what's wrong with
They
the people
support this
that are
system.
choosing to do this, that are, you know, in charge of the system and steering it this way? I mean, you
I
could
don't know.
have, you know, a beautiful, awesome place here for everyone. I just don't get it. I don't understand the disdain for other humans. I don't know. It's me. I don't know. I feel bad for him. I do. I know that sounds crazy, but to choose to do this over making it good, you know, for everyone, I don't get it. I mean, they can't feel good.
I just think it's like, you know, you've got the monetary system set up and then everyone bought into it. And, you know, and then the people that benefit the most out of this system, they uphold it the most as well. So that's basically
Yeah, I mean,
it.
I
And the closer
understand
you
how they
are to
keep
the
it going,
spigot, you know.
but why even start it in the first place when you had this? I just don't, you know, even if it is resets and mud floods and all that, I don't know. I think their lives would be easier if we all knew how to take care of ourselves. I don't know. Power, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, it's like power control, but you know, these guys. I mean, you can't get much more easier life when the money is free. You know what I mean? Like you're that wealthy, you can do whatever you want, and they do.
And they do.
Did any of you see the latest Quantum of Conscience video? He was talking about money.
Nah.
But he was saying
Tell us
about
about
that,
it.
how like, you know, the people that print money don't need our money, but because money is like a store of energy, because you trade your energy for that money, and like they need the energy that we attach to the money, the currency. It's just like it's like one step removed energy harvesting, or like
Yeah,
same
well,
shit as
basically,
everything else.
Plants to get sunlight out of it.
At this point, it's like, you know, I listened to this guy. He was an ex stock market sort of guy, and he's like talking about these. You could see people going to work and coming home from work and things, and he said because they got mortgages, all this sort of stuff, nearly all these people basically just work for free. And they go to work, and by the time they've paid everything, they're out of money, so they just go back, and so they're in this constant little wheel. And they basically work for free, and the whole world's nearly been doing that in a sense. So I don't know, but at some point people have to realize that that's actually what they're doing, that they're working for nothing, and doing something probably they don't like, that doesn't really help their morals and all the rest of it, you know.
I think a lot of people do know though, like that shit's perpetuated in like music and all kinds of media, that, you know, as long as you have your weekend off, fucking life's great. And like most people actually think that, you know.
Everybody's working for the weekend. That's one you should redo, T-Mac. Put your little twist on that.
I'll put it down. I'll make a note.
Do you guys listen to a lot of music at the house, Karen?
I do.
What do you usually listen to? Do you
Uh,
have like your, okay, the kids are home music, and then the kids aren't home music? Or is it always just whatever?
It's not, well, sometimes I'll play like like Sasquatch or Too Many Zoos. They'll live stream and I'll play that stuff in the background. But I've still been listening to a lot of Deftones lately because
yeah,
I really like Deftones. I mean, I was a big Deftones fan legitimately
Right.
for real before I found out Steph was a flat earther and talked to him and everything. And so now it's like I'm going back and listening to all the Deftones stuff that that I missed out on over the years, like over the time when I was having babies and in flat earth and when I stopped listening. And it just blows my mind, the stuff that's in their music. It trips me out. It trips me out.
Yeah, Adrenaline and Around the Fur, those albums were sick. I love them growing up.
Yeah. Yeah, that's when I got into them too, right? Those are their first, those
Yeah,
are the first
that
two
was
albums.
me too. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, and then White Pony came out and then they blew up, right?
Yeah, White Pony. Yeah, I still got one of their CDs from that. It's like a black one, so it was a limited edition. Yeah, they had a few limited edition CDs of those ones. So yeah, I've still got that somewhere. I'm like, yeah, cool.
Oh,
Maybe
that's
it'll be worth something someday.
So did they change a lot when they got big? And was it, if they did, was it for the better, you think, or for the worse?
Worse.
They didn't. They changed a little bit, but really not that much, and for the most part, it's been the same dudes this whole time, except for the bass player Chi, who died in a car they got into this bad car accident in Santa Clara, which is like down by San Jose in the Bay Area, and he was went into a coma. When he came out of it, he like couldn't talk anymore. He really couldn't walk. He just couldn't function. He was so heavily brain damaged from that accident. Anyway,
Oh, wow.
he ended up dying. So they have another dude that replaced him as a bass player, but Abe and Chino and Stefan, like those dudes all went to high school together in Sacramento. It's the same group of guys this whole time.
That's amazing.
And even
Yeah,
who does the DJing stuff for him now, he's from Sacramento. He joined, after the first couple albums, but even he's an old Sacramento dude, like, and their music really hasn't changed that much. They have a pretty unique sound, they have their own sound. And anyways, I don't know. I've always really liked them. And their later stuff I even have been into more. Actually, even I used to be really into their early stuff, but the later stuff, like they have this album called Koi no Yokan, right? And it's got like this grid. Anyway, that whole album has so many esoteric, like flat earth-ish references in the lyrics. Like the very first song talks about like in animal telepathy, electromagnetic, just because she talks about like a woman who tames her horses with voices that travel through the air, and she plays with forces that travel through the air. Like that's what he's talking about. And I was telling Steph, I'm like, he's talking about like animal telepathy and just blah blah blah. And then there's another song on there called Leathers, where to me it talks about like shedding your flesh body and going back to your light body, because it talks about, he says, what's on the inside, let it show on the outside. And it says, show your shapes and your colors and let your inside show. And it's just a trip. The whole album has stuff on it. There's another song from that album where they talk about, it's called Graphic Nature. And it talks about, it sounds like us, like the people who are being deceived talking to the person who's doing the deceiving, because it's like, let me look behind the curtain, show me your tricks, show me how you do your tricks. And and then there's one part in there where it says, show your strings and your wires, check the lights. It's like totally talks about them when you look at the lyrics, it sounds like they're talking about all the stuff that they trick us with, all the tricks that they use. It's just a trip. And then they have another album that came out just in 2020 called Ohms, and that album has a lot of stuff on it too. And then
What label are they with? Sorry to interrupt, but
I'm sorry, I'm kind of rambling about it.
No. Keep going. I love it. But yeah, I was just wondering, are they on like a? Had they always been on the same label, or did they? There's a lot of bands that don't want to be
Sony, I
stifled
thought, but
artistically,
They
so
started
they'll.
out on Matador, dude, Madonna's label. Madonna
Wow.
through the Deftones.
Oh. Yeah, I always liked
Madonna.
Chino's lyrics because they're just they seemed etheric, and you could also
Yeah, he even talks about the
like
he talks
making-
about the ether in some of the songs. He's like, and we're floating off in the ether, and we glide above the planes, beyond the grid, you know, go to the other side. It's just trippy, dude. It's trippy, the shit he says.
yeah, I've always liked it. It's like he's almost like pulling stuff out of the subconscious, and so it's sometimes you don't know exactly what the song's about, but it's more like a feeling that he's trying to portray. And I really like that sort of style of, you know, it's almost just like poetry, really. And whereas, you know, some bands, you know what their song's exactly about, and you know it can become boring, but with Chino's sort of lyrics, it's really not boring because of it's an emotional ride rather than a, you know, intellectual sort of story in a sense.
Yeah. Yes. And I've been mentioned that to Steph. I was texting him about it, and he was like, I never even really paid that much attention to it.
He's too busy with the
And then
guitar.
he said, but yeah, there's some stuff in there. We and then somebody else called, and she even brought up a song that I hadn't even gone back and listened to. You know, but he talks about the earth and the ether and shit like that a lot in his songs, you know, like he's got a song called you know, the Hole in the Earth song. And then that song, there's another song called Bloody Cape where they talk about like falling off of the earth. And I don't know, it's just a
So
trip.
is Steph the only conspiracy theorist, or do all the guys? Not saying that they're all flat earthers, but do they all kind
Only
of?
one. Steph is the
Really?
only one who's into flat earth. He's the only one. And I was, I don't know if you watched when he was on with me and Brian, but we were asking him like, dude, you sure? It's like, I can't even believe that Steph isn't, or that Chino, you know, it's like, I gotta wonder. He's like, I don't know if he's into it, but if he is, right on. But as far as he had told me, like even in our personal conversations, that none of the other dudes are into it. They just, you know. But I swear, some of the stuff that Chino puts in his lyrics, I'm like, dude, where is that guy pulling it from? You know, it's like they're so tapped in. They're the creative, whatever the creative process is, you know. And sometimes
Like
it is like that for
saying
artists,
it without even knowing that they're saying it. It's just coming from somewhere.
right? It's just coming from somewhere. Like, where are they getting it from? They're just downloading it somehow from the ether, right? And
Yeah,
he
we're
talks
we're
about
putting
the-
it out there every day. You know, we put these thoughts and ideas out every day. Yeah, maybe some of these artists are just picking them up, don't even know what they're singing. Wouldn't that be wild?
Yeah.
You could take credit for that one, Karen, for that song. Just say you put that. Or the one where he's talking about the earth and the grid and all that.
Oh.
That's your song. You put that one out there. But yeah, I mean, there have been artists singing about this for a long time, about the shape of the earth. Like, kind of, you know, without saying it. I Can See for Miles.
Mm-hmm.
That song is all about calling out the elite, you know, saying, I can see through your bullshit. I know I can see that far. So, yeah, I mean, I think there's been... I heard about a flat earth big thing that was going on during the 60s. Like, I guess there was a lot of flat earthers back then.
Yeah, I think that was one of the like upticks of it. because there were some articles I had found in local papers from like right at the end of the 60s, early 70s with a guy. Was it Johnson? Was that his last name? I think.
Was it anything to do with Flat Earth Society?
Oh yeah, it was all that. I mean, anything that came out paper oriented was going to be always going to the most ridiculous source. That was the whole scheme, as always. But yeah, there was. I mean, there's been waves of it historically. I still remember the guy that showed up on Carson with his chunk of rock. You know, that whole thing. So that it comes and they do their best to make it a joke and squash it back down.
Well, yeah, you would think if they were talking about it on Johnny Carson at that time that it had to be a thing. You know, it wouldn't really be all that funny of a joke if there weren't people out there that were actually, yeah. But I remember a NASA article, or not an article, but it was a release document. And they were talking about, yeah, these pictures are going to make those flat earthers look dumb. And that in the NASA paper, it was like a paper sent from this guy to this guy. But he was saying, yeah, we finally figured out how to do it, and it's going to make all the flat earthers look really dumb. And that was in the 60s. So, yeah, there had to be a bunch of them, I bet.
Whatever happened to that?
2012 at current. I'm sorry, 2014 after I refresh. Damn, it's growing every 2 seconds, it seems.
I can't come up with it right now, but there's some jazz artist who had an album in like the 70s with either like an AE map or some kind of flat map on it. I remember when I first saw it, I had nobody else to show it to, so now I can't think of what it is. There's several things like that, though.
Yeah, well, it's not, you know, we got to remember, it's not as old as they tell us it is, you know, the whole idea of us living on a globe. It was less than 100 years ago they were sending teachers to prison for trying to teach heliocentrism. Yeah, it's hard to just not fall back into that globe mindset when you're thinking about this stuff.
And yet the globe mindset is so
stupid.
It's so stupid. I mean, it doesn't agree with itself. You think of the globe mindset that, you know, 100, 150 years ago, think of Little House on the Prairie even, and nobody's there, and, you know, the cowboys and the Indians and the different, you know, all of wide open spaces, the gold rush, nothing there. And then you look at the World's Fair where they had all the buildings that were there that they took down. You look at what the population was then and what it is now, and the size of the cities and the size of the things, and say, how could this work in history in this type of time frame, you know, population alone? How could this work in time? It doesn't. It's ludicrous. The more you think about it, the dumber it gets. You can go into a total like dumb mind fest again. It's like, why did I believe this? What, it didn't make any sense. So how did I rationalize it? And
yeah, and I still find myself when I'm thinking about, especially the luminaries above, just putting it in that helio, even though it's like in a flat Earth model with the sun and moon going around and all the stars right there. I still think of it as the sun's lighting the moon, or, you know, just all the little things that we've been taught that probably aren't right. Yeah, it's hard to unwash your brain.
Yeah, what I was thinking about the other night, you know how I've been doing these moon cycles, and there's like that 3-year moon cycle, and then it flips. It does some interesting things. I don't know if I've got a picture I can show people. I might try and find it later. But and then you've got the way the moon works is it goes through sort of its lunar solstice in a sense, not it's a lunistus, and it has its standstills on this 18-year period, and I was thinking, and how I was trying to match it up with the solar cycles. You know, how they have the sunspot cycles, and it's
Yeah, the
more
11
magnetic. Or
year. Mhm.
yeah, I was wondering, because I was trying to match those two up, and I still think there's something there, but I was wondering, maybe they give us the wrong data on the sun, or maybe it's out of it's not quite they have like a delay where they give us, you know, so that we can't actually see these two things syncing up, because I definitely think there's a correlation between where the moon is in its larger cycle, its 18-year cycle, and what's happening with the sun. So it's one of those things. I think that there's something there, but I just, where to get the data or something like that is I haven't been able to find it yet. But yeah, if
And
if
you
I
can
ever
thank
find that,
flat earthers for that. For real. It used to be out there, Lucas, back in the heyday when I was studying the sun. There was multiple sites that gave really good data. I used the U.S. Naval Observatory, and now all that data, you can't access it anymore. They don't give it to you. I mean, I had it
yeah,
bookmark. I was checking it multiple times a day, you know, and it was great. And yeah, all of a sudden it's just like, bloop, you can no longer have access to this information. It's like, what the fuck? We pay for this information. What do you mean I don't have access to it anymore? Yeah, I mean, I think Jaren is responsible for so much shit being removed from NASA websites and just different sites. And yeah, for real, that guy would, back in the heyday when they were allowing him to be seen, you know, and his channel was just exploding. Yeah, he would put out a video, and then 3-4 days later, the NASA website would change their shit.
I'll try and bring up this video that shows it, since we can show people on the screen. But it's it's quite fascinating, and it'd be, you know, just a really big clue to find these cycles that link up with the sun and the moon. Yeah, it's just intriguing to see how this moon sort of goes through this 3-year cycle, and sort of the equinoxes sort of match up, and it's really fascinating, and it's like a clue to the machine, you know what I mean, how the cogs work. So I think there's definitely way more research that could be brought into, you know, that flat earth structure, you know, a good proof or whatever it is. But I'll try and find this video for you guys so you can see this lunar lunar or lunar standstills.
Yeah, good channel for, you know, people who have just been into flat Earth, even for the last couple years. This guy's been out for a while. You know, he did his video sets, and then he just kind of said, okay, you know, I did my part, and yeah, he went on about his day. But his channel is AJC 1844. Capital A J A Y C E E 1844. And he did these things called the Flat Earth Smarts. And he goes through, I think it's 14 videos. What?
I'm thinking this is a guy I used to watch.
Yeah, we've had him on the show. He was the first guest I brought on.
I was going to say, haven't we? Okay, yeah.
Yeah. And
I know when you said all that and spelled it out, especially, I was like, wait, this is ringing all kind of bells.
Yeah, I think it's number 11 or 12. He starts doing the planisphere and the movement of the luminaries above. And it's just phenomenal research. It should be stuff that we all, you know, have watched bunches of times. But yeah, it's for newer people that, you know, have never heard of them. Go check out AJC 1844. I know I'll go put it in chat for you right now. Yeah, Lucas, you need to go through his stuff with the fine-tooth comb.
Yeah, sweet.
Yeah, here it is. I'll just share his channel. But yeah, we had him on. Geez, I don't know how long I've been with you guys. Has it been over 3 years now?
Just about. At least.
I was just skip through this to get some of the this where he shows the lunar standstill, so you can get an idea of what I'm talking about. You keep talking while I try and find this. Sorry, unorganized.
But yeah, I just dropped that link in chat. Cammy actually talked a lot with this guy, and he and I had a few, conversations. Probably a couple handfuls where we just sat there for a couple hours, just not even talking about flat Earth, talking about life. Just a really
these are the videos. When you said Flat Earth Smarts and all came together. Yeah, these are great videos. I forgot all about these, man. Thank you for reminding me and sharing that with everybody.
I'll try and find somewhere else. It's going to be painful.
That should be stuff that should be shared with people that you want to wake up to flat Earth and this and that, because it really does explain, especially when he gets into the planisphere stuff. I mean, all the smarts are good. He goes through a lot of different flat Earth proofs, but when it comes to the luminaries above and how they work, and he was bringing up, Sigma Octantis. They say it's 4 stars in the southern hemisphere that form the southern pole area. Well, he realized that no one has ever captured all 4 of those stars in the same picture. Don't ask me how that's possible. He said like they're in different spots. But yeah, he was working on some crazy stuff before he dropped out. That's what those luminaries above will do to you, really, when you try to figure them out. So, Lucas, when you go into the asylum, I'll come break you out, man. Don't worry about it.
He didn't really drop out. I still talk to him from time to time. You're right. I've had a lot of contact with him. I think he's brilliant and has some of the very, very best work out there. I can't say enough about him. And I think if I'm working, if I had anything that confused me, he'd be the first person I would go to. He is one of the most decent people I've ever talked to. And he is just not made for the internet world, and I get it. The back and forth and the trolls. He's too polite. He's just, people on his videos would even make comments that you talk too slow. You're not exciting enough. And he's got really good information. And I think if he comes up with any additional really good information, he will put it out. I just don't see him weathering he's too much in the real world to get caught. I think in this world, it would be my opinion on him, and with much respect. I mean, it's hard, even when you're too nice for ice like Zach. I mean, you still get exposed to a lot of crap, and so I think he focuses on what's really important. He's a very big believer in God and in faith and in different things, and again, I think he follows things a little bit, and if he had anything really new, his stuff is fundamental. It's timeless. That's what's perfect about it, is you put it out there, it's timeless, and it still holds true. So maybe again, I would recommend him to all of them to everybody, and send him some respect, send him some great comments, and that he's really a great guy.
Yeah, that'd be so cool if it lit a fire under his butt to come, back and just make a couple more videos and finish his work on the luminaries. Because really, I mean, well, actually, I think he was done with the smarts, and he started doing these shorts things. And he did a few of those, and then he stopped. But I know he was still really looking into the planisphere and how the whole star thing worked above our heads and the planets and all that stuff. But if you're interested in the movements of all these things, his work on the planisphere is the best that I've seen, where they break it down and I actually could comprehend all of what he was saying. I only had to watch it like 2 or 3 times. But yeah, just really, really good stuff.
Okay, so I'll go through what I've found and I'll show you, and it's just a part of what the moon cycle does. But these blue lines, so you've got the equatorial line in yellow here. So that's your Aries, and then you'll have your Cancer and Capricorn, and these are the where the sun moves basically through the year, goes from Cancer to Capricorn. Well, the moon goes through this cycle and it takes basically 18 years. And if you use a 364-day calendar, it'll take 19 years exactly. But these blue lines here is where the sun moves in a month. The moon moves in a month. And that would be your lunar minimum. So it's moving between these two, and it's inside of the Cancer and Capricorn. But over this 19-year period, it actually starts to get wider and wider, and it has its like equalization, or the same time or the same movement back and forth each month to the Cancer and Capricorn. So that would be its lunar equalizations, or it's similar to the equinox of the sun. And then it starts getting wider and wider again in its monthly movement. And that would be the red line here that you see. So, and that would be the lunar maximum. So over this period of time, it goes from minimum out to maximum and then back into this minimum. And so that would be one full cycle. So that's your full 19, where it goes from minimum out to maximum, then back into minimum. So
now, have you correlated the size change into this? Is it always bigger when it's in the north than it is when the outer ring in the circle? Or is that like where you are on Earth? Because I know in the northern hemisphere, when the moon would be far up in the north, you know, at the inner red circle,
yeah,
it would be bigger. And then as it moved out towards the outer edge, it would get smaller, the opposite of the sun.
Yeah, well, it would. Yeah, well, that would make sense. Definitely makes sense as a change in size, just as perspective, I guess.
Well, no, but so I mean, for you, do you see it bigger when it's red on the outer ring? Is it bigger for you in Australia and smaller when it's in the north?
Right.
Or is it still
like
bigger
when it's in the
flipped,
north? Basically.
Yeah.
Don't know.
I never thought about that. No shit. That could answer.
The only reason I knew that is because I took a picture of the moon every month and watched it, and then compared the sizes of it.
Yeah. So the next thing I did was look at, because I heard these guys, they were trying to work out, you know, is the 364-day calendar the actual right calendar to use, you know? And so and they said there's a 3-year cycle of the moon. I'm like, well, that's fascinating. Let's see. And they were talking about the equinoxes and things like that. So what I did was I basically went through and picked out all the moon phases, and just using it was on time and date, and they have the 4 phases. And I just picked the closest one to the March equinox. And so you can see that this one's the 21st. So they're 3 days, 4 days different. But generally you can actually see this cycle, because what I was looking for was more the cycle rather than the exact date. Because if the calendar's kind of out, then we're not going to see this cycle properly. So this one's for 1968, it's the 21st. For 1969, it's the 18th, and 21st, 23rd, and 20th, and so on. But what you see when you put the phases together, is you'll get this one's a full moon, half moon, and you see their opposite polarity on the half moons, and then another full moon. And then it flips and goes to a new moon, half moon, new moon, and then it flips again, and it does this repeating cycle. And it's not, I've done, why can't I get back to, so I've done it for a number of years, and you can actually do it for the autumnal equinox as well. So this cycle just keeps going, and you can see in these pictures here, I put in the blue. So that's your minor lunar standstill, and then halfway between is your equalized lunar standstill, and then your major lunar standstill. And what I was trying to do was match
now,
up
when you
these...
say standstill, what do you
Yep,
mean?
so,
Like it?
Okay.
Go ahead.
Standstill is when it gets to the furthest point. So this red line is your maximum lunar standstill. So this would be the equivalent of the sun sort of going to Capricorn and then coming back. So it's the red line is the maximum point that the sun travels to, and then the sort of blue one is the minimum point that the sun travels to. So the close, yeah. So in between those two, lunar maximum and minimum, is the equalized lunar standstill. So, and that's the equivalent of your Capricorn and Cancer. So they're the same as the sun's movement. So when the moon basically lines up with the sunrise and, at full peak of Cancer, that's where you get the lunar equalization. And they sort of in harmony in a sense.
So is this is how they can predict eclipses and stuff like that?
Yeah, exactly. So what ends up happening on your maximums and minimums, you'll get lunar eclipses at the equinoxes. On your equalizations, so the time in between, you'll get lunar eclipses at your solstices. So it's pretty interesting. I'll show you a little bit more. I'll go out here. But yeah, this is how you start working out when the eclipses occur and where they're occurring. What I was trying to do was match up these lunar standstills with the sunspot sort of stuff, so that you can see it somewhat falls in and falls out. I don't think there's a true correlation, and you could see these red lines here, they'll match with the height of the sun, but then it goes to this one where it falls out and it starts hitting the minimum. So I just
maybe
don't know
that
if the
could
data
be
is correct.
an indication of changes that are taking place. The correlation between the sun and the moon aren't, they're not in stone. They're changing. They could be changing just like we do. They could be aging. There could be all kinds of different things going on.
Well, maybe there's a larger
you stumbled
view of
onto
this
something. Yeah, you could have stumbled
where
onto
it's
something
actually
big.
there's another cycle in between. I don't know, but this is what I was trying to link the sun and the moon together using these lunar standstills and things. But this is your eclipses. So this is part of the Saros cycle. This is a Tritos eclipse series, so it's a certain type of series. And I was looking at the eclipses and seeing, but this is a really interesting one. You can see that it sort of moves back every month and does this full circuit of eclipses. So it's got its own little cycle where certain eclipses will hit every month and start moving backwards. So I found that really fascinating, and that's called your Tritos. And I was wondering if that had anything to do with this. So I've gone down a few paths, and most of them have been dead ends, but it's still been fascinating to look at the information.
And yeah, they might not be dead ends. They might just be puzzle pieces until you find that thing to link it all together.
And you can see these little three here that don't sort of match up, and that's at your minimums. And so everything goes through this 3-year cycle, and then it does this funny little one just at the lunar maximums and minimums. So I found that sort of interesting.
And isn't it like every 3 years that like stellar reset is like how that occurs? Like every 3 years?
Yeah, it's like 3 to 4 years where they jump back. Yeah.
And this thing's got that 3-year going. So interesting.
Yeah, you need to look at that. Look at the stellar aberration charts, Lucas.
Yeah, aberration. My brain just couldn't get there. I almost said the word and then I stopped. It was like, is that right? Aberration? Yeah, that is it. Yeah. It kind of all resets.
Yeah.
Another thing that came to my mind, I can't see chat now because I have your screen full again. Someone mentioned the speed and how, going out to the outer areas, it would have to speed up, slow down, etc. And I said, well, maybe there's a gear ratio type thing. And then when I thought that, boom, there came the picture in my head of the Flammarion, your boy peeking through the dome, and there's all the gears. I don't know. I think there may be a mechanical nature to this shit after all. Who knows? Fuck.
I'm just sitting here watching the wheels go round.
I'll bring you up and
Wheel in the sky keeps on turning.
I'll show you an animation of what I mean with how the moon actually goes faster than the sun. I know sort of in Dave's app you've got it slower, but it's traveling back and forth through the month a lot faster. And it's this idea of it brings to mind the idea of the rabbit and the turtle, or
the tortoise and the hare.
Tortoise and the hare. So the moon is the hare actually, but it just doesn't win because it keeps on bouncing back and forth,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's doing like a zigzag where the sun is doing more of a straight path.
Yeah. So I'll show you this.
It only zigzags once a year while the moon zigzags 13 times a year.
So yeah, this guy's obviously in the heliocentric, but he the way he depicted is flat Earth. So I don't know why it's not playing. He gets it going somewhere around here. And then he points out that where these nodes are and things like that, but this is the moon here moving back and forwards. It's actually a really good depiction, but he's got the lines of the lunar standstills, and you can see how it's slowly gets out to this outer ring and then comes back in and goes through this whole pulse type thing. It's like a little heartbeat sort of thing. So you can see it's starting to get out to, I'll flip forward, and you can see it's starting to go to the lunar maximum now, where it's touching this purple line and nearly touching this outer purple line. So that's your lunar maximum.
Yeah, even these ones that are made for the heliocentric model, they can just help having a visual animation, kind of showing, just put a flat Earth underneath that.
Yeah, that animation doesn't make any sense on a heliocentric model.
No, I don't understand how they have the sun going around the Earth there.
Oh, well, they got the Earth in there, but yeah, you just take that out, and it's just like you're looking straight up at the Polaris, where that south is on the screen. Yeah, you're just looking up at Polaris, and then everything's moving around you. I don't know, it made sense for me, but anyway, there's my little share of what I've been trying to figure out.
And would you say that you comprehend more or less? Have more questions arisen than you've answered?
Well, I'm starting to get a feel for how the moon works and these eclipses work as well. So it's a start, and definitely a little bit. And finding that 3-year cycle is really interesting as well. I mean, that's especially when you take out the 365 day and put in the 364 day. It could be that those lunar phases nearly end up on the same day. So it doesn't have that fluctuation between the 18th and the 23rd and those sort of things. It actually starts to bring them a lot closer. So it's nearly the singular. So yeah, there's definitely something there that needs more work, obviously, but
calendar needs tweaked too. Wouldn't you say?
Well, yeah, the 365 day, it seems to work. It seems to, tell a certain cycle, but when you apply another division, does that give you a different perspective of the same cycles? You know what I mean? It's like the number 12. You can divide it by 4 and 3 and 6, so you can have numerous ways of dividing your cycles up. So rather than just your standard 365, I mean, the creator seems to be, not just sticking to one thing. It would have lots of divisions and lots of interesting little nuances that you could pick out of it for sure.
And it would help if we had, good, accurate data that went back, years and years and years and years, hundreds of years.
Yeah, well, someone might,
sure.
I'm doing this to be, a little bit selfish to my own model, trying to find a connection between the sun and the moon. And if I could do that, it would support my model even more. So, yeah, I'm all about self-promotion here.
Well, gentlemen, it's almost
Here's
9.
a dude you need to invite to. Anyway, what happened?
What'd you do?
Who's a dude? I'm a dude pretending I'm another dude.
Me? I know who I am. I'm a dude.
You're
playing
dude,
a
don't
dude
know who he is.
disguised as another dude. They reckon it is about that time.
I suppose.
Karen B, thank you so much. I'm sorry, we really didn't talk a whole lot about Flattoberfest.
I know it was awesome that we talked about Deftones, though. That was all. You've got me wanting to go check out more recent shit because I definitely lost track and then got excited again when he came out and you talked to him, and definitely should go back into the catalog now. I see. So awesome.
So real quick, I know the hotels that you had reserved are fully booked, correct?
Yeah, hotel block got filled up.
That's awesome.
Other people have found Airbnbs and stuff like that. There's other hotels near the area, but the one that's just a couple blocks away that has the majority of people staying in it, I guess, is booked. Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. I mean, hey, that's it's not good for people looking, but yeah, that's awesome that it's sold out and yeah, a whole giant group of flat earthers. Those are always fun.
All the speakers are going to be staying, except for Bob because he lives right there.
And then, if you want to be coming to the event, October 23rd and 24th, you can find ticket information at flatearthfestivals.com. And tickets are still available, yes?
Oh, of course, yes. Tickets
So,
are available, and I also am getting set up so I can sell tickets at the door. So
yeah, you sold quite a few of those the last couple, haven't you? People coming to the door and wanting to buy them there.
Mm-hmm. There's always some people at the door, yeah.
Did I see recently that Strange World is back?
Yeah. Strange World never went away. I just didn't do it that one day. I only skipped 1 week because it was Mark doing it with some guest who was just doing a whole presentation about the book of Revelation, and I don't really know what, but there was no point in me being there, so I didn't do Strange World that day.
Well, see, that makes perfect sense, because then I've had to have been unsubscribed because I have not seen him anything that he's done in a hot minute. I mean, I don't really.
Oh, well, he doesn't post anything on his channel because his channel's in purgatory because he's got like 1 million strikes.
Yeah, wasn't I heard it was up to 8 at one time. It's probably even more than that now. But
He
yeah,
had
8
11 or
strikes.
12.
Jeez, oh Pete, that's insane.
Like he said he didn't even know why his channel was still there. And then all the strikes, I got a couple of strikes and they were for Strange World, so I just stopped doing Strange World on YouTube because it was getting me strikes.
That's just straight persecution.
Yeah.
It better not be that Joe Jackson doing Stepping Out. I'm telling you. From the album Night and Day. Into the night. I'll forever know that song. I hear that song on the radio and I think of Mark Sargent. It was like a week ago. I heard it. I was like, no way. They're playing Night and Day on the radio. I can't believe this.
Funny.
And you knew it was from Stepping Out.
Yep. Joe Jackson, Stepping Out, from the album Night and Day. I don't know how many times I've heard Mark say that, and now he's got you doing it. You've been doing it lately.
Yeah. He always makes me say night and day.
Oh, I love it. Well, yes, thank you, Miss Karen. You are always the best.
Well, thanks.
Thanks, Karen.
So Monday, Ted's off.
Yeah.
Go check out the billboard.
Mm-hmm.
Salt water. Gargle salt water.
Yeah.
Sounds like you're a little rough there.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope you continue to feel better.
Well, thank you.
Golden milk is a miracle cure as well for those throat and that whole, area of your body that needs attention.
I'm pretty sure I saw something about the Rife machine doing something with that. I'll take a look at the manual and see what I can, if you want to be a guinea pig.
Sure. Why not?
We'll transport you back into time.
I'll take all the help I can get as long as it's not, from a hospital.
Yeah.
Or Western doctor.
Bunch of nut jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah, you saw what it showed. This is a cat. That's what the doctors are doing right now. Those were all doctors in the audience saying, yep, that's a cat. Yeah. Fuck Western medicine. Sorry, I'm not a doctor, nor do I play one here on YouTube. But yeah, fuck these people.
Yeah, exactly. They are straight up, exterminating people.
Yep, that's what they're doing. No doubt.
And they wonder.
And if they don't know they're doing it, they shouldn't be doctors because they're too dumb to realize what they're actually doing.
Yeah.
Well, that ended the show on a real nice note there, didn't it?
Sorry.
Yeah, but we love you, Karen. Thank you so much. You rock. Get better. You got to be better in, what, 3? What are we?
Well,
We're a month away.
A month away.
In 1 month.
A month away,
Party
a month
time.
away, a month away, a month away.
Goodness, yeah, a month away.
You got this. Everybody send Karen B lots of good vibes.
Definitely.
Lots of calming vibes.
Healing vibes,
Relaxing
regenerative
healing
vibes, recharging. vibes.
Absolutely. Same thing going out to our good buddy Zombie Snoop, who was feeling a little under the weather and got a little extra TLC from our buddy Daz, and definitely sending that out to you as well, Zombie. Glad to see you back in the mix, friend. All you guys rocking, chat. Thank you so much. TJ, you rock, friend. Speaking of rocking.
Yeah, thanks for showing up.
Congratulations on the new job and the enjoyment of it. That's awesome, man. If you can do something where you're actually enjoying it and you're learning stuff, especially about nature, dude, awesome. Congratulations.
I appreciate the invite.
Door
Great
never
people,
closes.
great
You know that, my buddy.
conversation. Fuck
Always
Western
welcome,
medicine.
TJ.
Just wanted to throw that in too.
Yeah, fuck them.
Whatever you want. You come and we'll just step on everything you say.
Everything you fucking try to say.
Yeah.
Fed too.
Fuck the Fed. Fuck Biden.
Oh, man.
And know your enemy. That'll be mine. Everybody,
thanks, everyone.
Yeah, have a great weekend, folks. Josh, I love you. Just saying, man.
Aw, thanks, Zach. I love you too.
Thank you for all you do.
Yep, you do a lot, friend.
Quite welcome. It never feels like it's adequate.
That's a sign of a true artist.
Love and beyond.
That's what she said.
Yes.
It is the she's, isn't it? Didn't I? Yeah.
Not to be
Didn't I
weird,
come on the show
that's what they
like
all
once
say.
a week?
Perfect. Perfectly. Oh my God. Oh.
Apparently, she's telling everybody. So there's that.
I
No.
love you too, Cameron.
Thank you so much, lady. Hug Bob. Hug Jaron.
Well,
Hug
will do.
yourself.
Will
Say, go
do.
hug Cammy, damn it.
I'm gonna hug Karen on Monday. I can't wait.
There you go. Huggles.
So I think the link I just dropped into that chat is going to be that Mike Love video. A little throwback there for John Savage. This is another one.
Shout out, Savage.
Savage! It took me a minute to comprehend the depth and detail that this guy went through to get this looped the way he did. Guys, check it out. It's really, really entertaining. And you got to stick with it through the whole way. It's a little bit long, and at first you're like, what is this? But stick with it. Wait till the end. I promise it'll raise the truth.
It's fucking ridiculously insane.
Yeah.
How
That's awesome.
talented
Like,
it is.
Like love.
Yeah. He's got a lot of really good stuff out there.
But yeah, is that the video where the crazy one where he's just
sitting on the stool?
Sounds like he's just making noises. That's what it sounds like at first.
That's the one.
Oh man, yeah. Everybody go watch that right after the show. It'll blow your mind. That's a human being doing that.
Probably.
Probably.
All right. There it is. Love you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. I appreciate you all hanging out with us every Friday night. It's nice not to do this to an empty room, because that's what we'd be doing otherwise. So thank you all so much. We'll see you right back here next week. Be good, be well. We love you. Bye-bye.
Good night, everyone.